People, what's good? What's going on? Hope you guys are keeping safe. I'll be I'll be doing a short tutorial, a really short tutorial on how to take out blemishes in Photoshop without having patches later on. I make the mistake as well. I mean, like most times I have to have someone point it out to me, or I see it when I'm done doing Photoshop. When I'm done with my frequency separation, I see these little patches, and this is even after I follow the right steps. Like this is after I follow the right steps. So you want to be really, really careful when you're taking patches, because when you're doing these things, people might not really notice until you zoom in. But imagine doing these things and wanting to imagine taking out blemishes and wanting to put your picture on and wanting to print your photo in large print, really large print. These things will show, or when people have to zoom in, it will show. But on basic Instagram, whatever, every day, you might not really see it. You would not even actually see it until you zoom in. But yeah, so this is me doing a really short tutorial. I'm going to edit the full picture later and show you the full picture of how I did the full picture. But right now, let me just focus on the taking out blemishes. So you want to duplicate your layer, of course, with Command J or Control J on PC. So I would be working on this area here. I'm working on this area. I shot this picture like 2 years back. I think this was my first year. This was no, not really first, but my first, one of my first ever. But yeah, this was my first ever studio picture 2 years ago. So there are three things you can use to take out blemishes. There's a spot healing brush tool, which I would never ever recommend on pictures with sharp anyways. There's the spot healing brush tool, and there's the patch tool, then there's the clone stamp tool. Most times I use the clone stamp tool and patch tool. I don't always use the spot healing brush tool, except is tiny things that are really, really unnoticeable in blurred areas. But if like for something like this, I use the spot healing brush tool. For if you're doing a serious beauty shoot and you want to take out hair, you see, that's really not obvious. That's really not obvious. But yeah, if I'm dealing with skin layers that are really sharp, I mean skin layers generally, whether they are sharp or not, I would never use spot healing brush tool, because it takes away the texture, and as a photographer, as a retoucher, you want to keep your texture always. Now look at this. You won't really notice because I just did one. Do you get, like, but can you see? Like it takes away this texture no matter how. It takes away the texture and it gives you patches. So what I usually do, Control Z here, Control Z. So what I usually do basically is I use my clone stamp tool, and you need to zoom in properly, like properly, so that clone stamp tool is it kills my back. I won't lie to you, but at the end of the day, when I look at the image, it's totally worth it. Like totally worth it. Imagine taking off so many spots, so many blemishes like this. You can faint inside Photoshop. Basically, taking off so many blemishes with clone stamp tool. Spot healing brush tool on the other hand will do the job for you much faster. Patch tool as well, but patch tool too, I don't know. I use patch tool right after. Patch tool also copies from the texture. Some people use their frequency separation layer. They use the high frequency layer because that's where the texture is. I use it too, but I feel like it's a bit too much, because when I'm done my frequency separation and I want to sharpen the image, everything is so obvious. So like I just use clone stamp tool here before I start anything, before I start frequency separation, color grading, whatever. So you want to copy from the use your alt button, copy from the place closest to the spot here, then go to the spot and rub on it. It's very not, I mean, like It's very, 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 very. It's very easy when you get used to it. It's very easy when you get used to it, right? It's quite easy when you get used to it, but you just have to be really, 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 I mean, careful with it because you don't want to make any mistakes. So basically, that's what I do. I mean, I just copy from the processed one, and yeah, this will take a while, and I don't want this video to be so long, so I'm going to be right back and show you. But that's basically the process. Then, if you want to use the patch tool, obviously, quite easy. Oh shit, sorry. You're going to zoom in as well. So for the patch tool, so you have to be very close to what you are doing. Zoom in properly. Copy it in small areas, then carry it to the next area. You know, very, 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 very small areas to create. Look, this was big, so that you can see a patch there. It's going to create a patch for you, but it's nothing your frequency separation cannot fix. Things like that, your frequency separation is going to smoothen everything out. But all the same, you don't want to leave everything to your frequency separation, because imagine you're done with all of this and you get to your frequency separation and you realize that this thing is not smoothing out. What would you do? You have to go back and, I mean, start again or retrace your steps or what. So it's best to get everything right in this layer. So I would never ever suggest to use the spot hidden brush tool. I would always suggest that use the clone stamp tool or the patch tool. So yeah, this is basically what's okay. So I'm working on the forehead area, and so far, what's going on? Okay. Oh, okay. So far, this is what I have. I always make extra. I always like to group my work. I'm going to be doing a full tutorial later of how I edited this, how I'm editing this image basically. Maybe not this one in particular, but yeah, this image here. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how I'm editing this image later on. That'll be maybe no, not my next tutorial. I want my next tutorial to be how to make money. Anyway, so yeah, basically I'm working on the forehead, and you can see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference, although you can still see a bit of patches in some of these areas, but yeah, it's nothing frequency separation cannot fix. Trust me, it'd be totally worse if you use spot in brush tool. After frequency separation, you can never ever get a texture back. But here, that there are still textures, but they're just patches, and you can always use your patch tool to move these patches around, you know, to get something out of here and take it here. So you get your patches retain texture. Um, clone stamp tool retains texture, but spot hidden brush tool gives it blur. It takes out the texture away from the image. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to explain. My next tutorial, I'm still going to do a full tutorial about edited image, color grading, and all of that, the full image. So watch out for the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.